Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some online lobbies, and we start the day at the Italian Grand Prix, and we've had a decent start coming off the grid there and now up into P3 into the first corner, but the car also slows down in front of us and we hit the back of them, and that gives us wing damage to contend with for the rest of this race. And then coming out of the Ascar chicane we got wide and on to the gravel, and that puts us into a spin and we hit the barrier as well, so not good that. And now it's the start of the second lap and we're going to try and make up a few places that we lost in the spin, but the Williams car defended the inside and we had to move off to avoid hitting them, and that meant putting us into the grass and completely off the braking zone. But now trying to overtake the Ferrari, they've basically swiped us onto the grass and we've had to back out of that move, and for the second time we've done it again, trying into turn 1 here, and then they skip the chicane there, and now it's, oh dearie me, they have crashed with the Williams car, and that's us onto the end of the race, and it's going to be P4 for us. And now on to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in the wet conditions here for intermediate tyres, and we need to try and keep this nice and cool, keep it on the track, and hopefully we'll try and force them into a mistake. And oh dearie me, they have gone into a mistake and into the wall, and that gives us the lead of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it's on to the end of the race. It's been cool, it's been calm, and it's been collected, and we have won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And now on to Monaco, and that's a jump start for that car there and possibly that Ferrari there, who knows. But now into turn 1, and oh my goodness, there is a Sauber car going all over the screen. Where's he going? Oh my goodness, that is a massive glitch from the game. And now into the casino section, and oh dearie me, that's been the Williams and the Ferrari in a collision, and we just about go through as the Sauber is still glitching into the track. I have no idea what's happening there. But now on to the end of lap 1, and we've caught up to our teammate here, and we're going to go around the outside, and will they give us space in the narrowing turn 1? No they don't, and we're going to have to go on to lap 3 now here, and oh my gosh, that Sauber just came from the air and flew down. I have no words for this, ladies and gentlemen. But now on to the Canadian Grand Prix, and oh my goodness, that Ferrari's just gone into the air now, and we have gone on to the pit exit to avoid all the carnage. It was a pretty decent start from us actually, and we avoided all the chaos, and then there's just nowhere for us to go, and we will get a penalty for that. But we are up into second place, and now it's on to lap 2, and that's a Renault car who has just crashed right in front of us, and I did not see that till the very last minute. And there's the other Renault car now crashed in front of us in that corner, and now back to the first Renault car. They're trying to crash in front of us to try and take us out, and it's been 3 attempts to take us out and none of them have worked so far. And now it's on to lap 4, and there's another Renault car trying to crash us out, but this time they're just still, so it was easy for us to avoid. And now on to the very last lap, a Red Bull has crashed at the Wall of Champions, and we've just been able to avoid that, and across the line we come to finish in a solid P2. But now on to the Hungarian Grand Prix into turn 1, and we've been hit from behind, and that Toro also, I just apologise to him because there was nothing we could do about that. And then the other Toro also got spun round as well, and now it's later on to the lap, and it's now the two Ferraris slowing each other down, and we have to stay behind for the moment here. And it's the Mercedes and the Ferrari simultaneously spinning off there. So after being in P9 at turn 1, we are now up into P5 here as we go later on to the race here, and it's now the Red Bull looking very squirmy indeed, and we go up the inside of them into this right-hander here, and that is us now up into P4 here. And that McLaren's off the track, so that's going to give us P3 in this race now. So there's quite a decent comeback from us, from just other cars just crashing off or making a mistake, and that's another mistake from that car as well, and that's going to put us into P2 as we avoid the Mercedes car who is a lap down. And now it's the final lap of the race, we're catching up to the Red Bull car, and they've gone off as well. And is that going to give us the lead? Yes it is, and we are going to lead the Hungarian Grand Prix as we come across the line to win our second race of the day. And now it's on to the Australian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go, and we've had a good start, and we make 2 positions up on the start before we get to turn 1 now, and we have to give the space on the inside, and we're pushed onto the gravel, and we spin round, oh no, and we've been hit by an oncoming car as well, and we just try to stay still to hope that they wouldn't hit into us, but unfortunately we have. But now, later on to the lap now, and oh dear, that Red Bull's crashed, and then the Ferrari car put us wide onto the grass, but we've recovered quite well here, and now later on to the lap once more, and oh dear, there's been contact from behind, and into the gravel once again, and we've been taken out again here in this race. Not a good way to have the first lap here. It's been a very bad first lap, and we are down into the very low positions here as we go back onto the track now here, and we're now going to cut on later on to the lap here and into the corner, and it's 3 cars, and there's a Red Bull gone wide, and there's a Renault spun into the wall, and we have to slow down for that because of the Red Bull mainly, but they've gone off into the gravel on the 3rd to last corner, so we go round the outside, but they've spun us round on the penultimate corner, and that's just summed up our lap really. A very bad lap, but now on to the next lap, and let's hope for a better lap here, and we've just overtaken 2 cars going very slowly there, and that was a decent overtake from us here. But now on to the end of the lap, we're right on the tail of this Williams car, and hopefully we're going to try and look to see if we can go up the inside of them into the first corner. We're going to use the rich fuel mixture as well, and can we go up the inside of them into turn 1, and it's up the inside, and yes, we can make the overtake on them, so it's up into P9 now, and now it's going to be the start of lap 4, and we've set the fastest lap of the race so far, showing that we've got decent pace here. But it's now on later on to the lap here, and there's a car ahead of us. It is the Haas car, and we go around the outside of them, and to be fair, they were going a bit slow, but we did go around the outside, and we get a purple sector as well. And now at this point, we do not have the fastest lap any longer, but we go onto the grass, and that just makes us miss the apex slightly, and we're still going to try to see if we can get the fastest lap back from the rest of the field. And can we do it? We set a personal best, but it's not going to be the fastest lap, and we've only got 1 more lap to do it on this final lap here, and we're going to stay on board for this whole lap here to see if we can get the fastest lap of the race here. We've got a clear track in front of us, and now heading down into turn 3, braking down into 3rd gear, hit the apex nicely there, and then go to the right to open up the next corner, hitting the apex and using the full track, and then now on to turn 5, it's completely flat out, using the curb on the exit now, and what's the sector time going to be? It's a purple sector time, hitting the apex very nicely. Then there's a Williams car, and we go very close to them, just avoiding them in the lap, and hopefully that's not lost us too much time. And now into turn 9 now, braking down into 4th gear, 3rd in the latter part of the corner, we hit the apex very nicely there, using the exit curb as well. And now on to the fast chicane section of the track now. We're going to brake down ever so slightly. It's another purple sector for sector 2. We are on for a very good lap here, and now heading down into the final few corners. There is the fastest lap up on screen now, and that is the time we've got to beat a 1:24.1 on screen, so it's only a 10th faster than our personal best. Into the 3rd to last corner, we could have gone a bit faster in there, but this time we don't go onto the grass, and we get the apex of the corner, and it's now around the final corner using the full curb, and now all we need to do is go to the line. Have we set the fastest lap of the race? Yes, we have, and we set the fastest lap by a whole half a second there. And that's going to be the end of the video there. And so if you have enjoyed the video, then do leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos on F1 2018. So I will see you next time for another video, and goodbye.